Today is Sunday the 8th of January 2017 and it's 3:15 in the morning. This video specifically goes to no one in particular, really. This video goes to all kinds of people. Generally, I want to remind you of things that I've said quite a few times in previous videos, quite a while ago, in fact, such as, for instance, that I understand my phases and I know myself and my mind, and that I can tell what is my phases MO, so to speak, and what not. See, I am being discredited out there. I am pretty sure that is one massive reason why I'm being targeted for all kinds of attacks, not coming from the Abwehramt, because to a whole lot of people out there, I'm being portrayed as someone allegedly too stupid to figure that I were allegedly utilized as a producer of battle routines and tricks and such. Namely, the picture trying to be created that my phases come up with tricks and ways and stratagems and tactics to utilize against you. I can assure you that is not the case. I can assure you that what I'm being attacked with specifically is, and tortured with, it's really the torture, is shit that my phases did not come up with. Specifically, for instance, for a couple of days now, this night, just a few minutes ago actually, I perfectly identified it and disabled it, but just these last few days, for instance, and who knows how long prior to that, but these last few days it got a little extreme. It was particular literary idiocy again, literally idiocy again, pertaining to band names, song titles, and specific lines from songs, but especially the band names and the titles alone. Such as, for instance, to give you a few examples, if I listen to Type O Negative, then that would be hijacked in sense at a stupid literally meaning, as if I had the wrong type of blood coursing through me because I am type A positive, and so on and so forth. There is, for instance, YouTube is being utilized as fodder, so to speak, because I listen to music on YouTube, and if I were hypothetically to click something like Cannibal Corpse, for instance, then I'd get very nice body descriptions my way, and so on and so forth. That, for instance, is a wonderful example where that is not anything that my phases came up with. The Abwehramt and all manners of idiots out there want to sell it as if, basically all it takes is, you just tell us, brain, that it is to use everything against it and do itself in. Yeehaw! And that is not what's happening, because I am getting ultra-specific routines that have not come out of this head. I assure you that much. It is, in this particular case, it is actually Abwehramt idiocy at trying to imitate and outdo, they do have zeal for that at least, trying to outdo the German idiots, the Germanensäuer, with their approach to literally idiocy. This has also once more to do with retouching, complete idiotizing of grammar, complete hijacking of particular ultra, not just ultra simplicity, but ultra important central groundling words and word types like, say, personal pronouns or whatnot being hijacked to something. Excuse me. None of this is anything I come up with. You fuckers, some of you fuckers out there, attack me because the fucking Abwehramt and their fucking Dunsker succeed at creating the impression that I were coming up with this shit because allegedly I'm too chicken shit to kill myself or any such completely idiotic thwarting of the situation for several years now. And that you attack me with all of this shit. I don't mean the torture coming from the Abwehramt and their allies, so to speak, but I mean the other torture that I get, the mentioned raids and whatnot. That some of that targets me because it was sold to you fucking idiots that I were allegedly a smith, so to speak, of such routines. When I am not, when my phases are not, nor have they ever been. I have said in the past what I was in the past. I don't need to say this again. I am sanity. And I know you people don't get sanity. You think, well, that's even worse because his routines are sick. No. The shit I'm getting tortured with is absolute insanity and absanity. Shit like what I just explained to you. Having parts of your head physically described to be a gun, for instance. That tied in, incidentally, that might have been a side effect, with some funny little sick new round of very hijacked war game application that they try to have via the infantry app remaining functionality and their delusional shit and whatnot. And all of that is only possible because I'm having all kinds of fuckers straight feeding in, straight on the frequencies of particular parts of my phases, and it all blending into one another. Okay? Several proxy devices, several proxy fields overlapping, fucker above, having his proxy field overlap again, whether they're in there or not, and so on and so forth. The point I'm trying to make in this video, the points I should say, is that I am no smith of such routines. I assure you. I have never been, nor will I ever be. Nor is any of my phases forcible to such a point. Especially as I and all my phases understand the actual functionality. And all of what is being done is in crass contrast to the actual functionality. Is hijacking functionality, is ignoring functionality, is trying to completely ridiculously redeclare functionality in a complete 100% pointless, useless, never going to work kind of approach, and so on and so forth. None of that shit that anybody out there might be tickling you with, because I assure you, you ain't getting shit worth mentioning your way, comes out of this here head. And yet, fucking Abwehramt paints me like that. So that they needn't be asked with torture me the whole day, but can safely assume that useless pieces of shit out there do that for them, because they got me completely wrong. I want you to understand that. I also want particularly the Germanensäue to understand that the Abwehramt has developed, ehrgeiz to outdo, I'm going to do this in German, euch besser als ihr zu sein. Besser ist vielleicht der falsche Begriff, ich benutze ihn jetzt der Einfachheit halber, kranker und noch abwegiger und was nicht, besser als ihr zu sein mit dieser ganzen Wortsinn-Entfremdungsscheiße, die ihr so betreibt. Und ich darf euch versichern, das Abwehramt ist nicht besser darin unterm Strich, aber es ist abartiger und was nicht darin. Ja? Also Germanensäue, ihr seid mittlerweile an dem Punkt, wo ich sogar das Abwehramt nahezu überholt, wenn es das Germanensau-Sein betrifft. Ja, ich formuliere das jetzt quintessentiell. Werte Germanensäue, auch ihr seid herzlich eingeladen, gegen das scheiß Abwehramt und seinen Dunstkreis etwas zu tun. Nur der Vollständigkeit halber. Aber am wichtigsten ist mir, dass auch ihr versteht, dass nichts, was auch immer an Routinen, das euch entweder Foltern entgegengebracht wird oder vielleicht sogar verkaufend, vielleicht mit der Lüge, mit der Bär, die aus seinem Hirn ausgezahlt wird, der Bulle ist so super, wir brauchen eine Folter und schon kommt er mit der Routine. Nein, das tut er nicht. Das hat er nie getan und das wird er nie tun. Das ist hier nicht machbar in diesem Gehirn. Ihr seid so deppert und verblendet und idiotisch und hirngefickt, wie es ärgerlich geht, dass ihr euch diese Scheiße einreden lasst. Das hat nicht die gleiche Bedeutung, wie das Ding so wäre. Weil dem ist nicht so. Nur der Vollständigkeit aber Germanensäue. Noch einmal euch spezifisch darauf hingewiesen, weil das Abwehramt meint, eure Linie an Tun verfolgen zu müssen und ein bisschen was besser machen zu müssen als ich.